Let's go. Hashtag no music, no intro. Another episode of the hashtag Saints Block Party Podcast coming at you. Whew. Night one.
Made it.
Night one. We are currently recording this right now in the hotel that I'm staying at until tomorrow. Going back to California tomorrow. But before we get into any of that, you know what's crazy is that we had a podcast anniversary on the 17th, and we didn't even.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that, bro.
I know it hit me a couple of days ago. April 17th was when we started this podcast, and since then we've become a business. We have done multiple things regarding building this community. Don't mind Ryan; he's just getting the word out there.
Word out. It's live, baby.
So we good. So he's just getting the word out in terms of people. If you're watching, hit us up on YouTube, join the live streaming. But 4 years, bro.
4 years.
4 years since we started. Started with right before the 2020 draft, the season release draft.
Little crusty video, you know what I'm saying? Sitting there just vibing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The Peyton Turner, like grainy, man. I was watching that Peyton Turner video never gets old.
Bro.
I look back at it, I was like, man, like Zapruder had better.
Bro. It was terrible, bro. It was terrible. That's why I thank people for rocking with us that long, bro. Like, I go listen to some of that audio back then. I was like, God, our audio was bad, man. Woo.
Shout out to the YouTube people in the stream.
Hey, we sound good? Like, can you hear us okay since we both in person?
Yeah, so we're in person. So we wanted to record this in person. We realize that we don't get to record in person very often. But shout out to Daryl Stevenson in the YouTube. But I'm sure we sound good. Dash is in the YouTube, so if we don't sound good, I'm sure Dash will let us know. Also, we're recording We're recording using hotel Wi-Fi. So the hotel Wi-Fi is where we are at. So how you doing, Jerry? What a great so last night wasn't a crazy draft. Thank you, Joshua. He said we sound okay. Last night wasn't a crazy draft in general for I think the NFL as a whole. Mm-hmm. The Saints did what was expected. Drafted Fuaga, right tackle out of Oregon State. I sound quiet. Now I'm the quiet one.
Quiet one.
Shout out to Reddit. But the draft turned on its head, and I know this is the Saints podcast, but we have to talk about what the Falcons did at 8.
Got to.
It's probably that's gonna have to become like an R&B singer. Just hold it like this. It was. Me and you watched NFL drafts for years. I cannot remember a pick as shocking as that one. Like just completely shocking.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of a. I was about to say Bortles the Jags, but we didn't know it was Bortles.
It was
but we knew they were taking a quarterback.
Yes.
Even Jordan Love, Green Bay, it was surprised that it was like late round. It was like late first round or whatever. For them to take him at 8 and nobody had him going. Nobody.
No mock ever had Michael Penix going to 8. And I saw some sentiment on Saints Twitter kind of making fun of the Falcons about it. But if you just think about it, and obviously it's contingent that Penix is a good player and he works out. But people were saying well, he's not going to start until he's like 27. Okay. If you could get the Saints are a perfect example of not having a succession plan.
The Falcons are a perfect example.
Right, with Matt Ryan.
They've been dealing with it for years now.
So now Kirk Cousins was steamed, bro.
Oh yeah, it is wild.
It's wild.
It's wild for him. For it to happen off season, they signed Kirk Cousins.
A lot of money.
To a big deal.
Huge.
Even if you could look at the contract like, okay, they can get out in 2 years if they need to, which is understandable. But still, like for them to do that this offseason and go get the quarterback with a top 10 pick.
That's crazy.
It's wild. I like it, you know what I'm saying? Like I think you're thinking long term.
Long term?
It's long term thinking that you're setting your franchise
You
up
can win in the present and the future.
But but on the flip side, I mean, I would like it still if I was a Falcons fan. I know, it's not helping your team right now.
It's not.
It's just not going to help. It does nothing for your team right now. But you never know. Like, your cousin is coming off of Achilles, man.
The Kurt's like, what, 38?
He's 36. 36, so, it's not like he was some kind of freak athlete ever anyways. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be interesting, bro. That pick, that was the highlight of the draft. And the fact that we had, how many quarterbacks go?
6.
6 quarterbacks go in the top 12 picks.
The first defensive player in the draft didn't get drafted until 15th overall.
That's wild.
14 offensive players in a row. Unprecedented. Joshua Forrest said the Falcons did what we usually did. Reach for a player that they should have. I completely disagree. Completely 100% disagree. I had Michael Penix Jr. as my quarterback 2 in this draft. We'll see what ends up happening.
Like, people could agree or disagree on quarterbacks. The fact is, you had 6, right?
Yeah.
6 quarterbacks.
Round 1.
Were all of those first round level quarterbacks? Hell no, man. But it's a quarterback league, bro. Like, the thirst is real, man. Like, the thirst is real. And we should know better than anybody.
If you don't have one, you do whatever you can to get one. So I kind of start with this Michael Penix thing. When we'll get to Fuaga, we haven't even talked about the whole thing that James Hurst, his career is now in a Hurst, retired from the Saints, played 10 years in the NFL.
The game ain't in
not in him anymore. Drew said the Falcons getting a little too much hate. I agree. A little too much hate's going on. The thing I came away from with this draft, from the Saints' perspective, is I came away impressed with the team, more so in the mindset of there are things that sometimes I hear things, especially around draft season. I have some sources, and the things that I have heard and have been told to me leaves me more impressed, maybe more positive about how the team's being run than I've probably been in a very long time.
Really?
Yes. I'll start with this. So there was 2 conflicting reports. You had James, I don't know, the NFL. I can't think. Palmer. Thank you. James Andrews, the doctor, just needs surgery now. James Palmer of NFL Network stated that I believe it was like the Seahawks, Raiders, and Saints were all trying to trade into the top 10 to draft Michael Penix Jr. Just a little bit ago, our dude John Hendricks reported that wasn't true. Like, that it wasn't a thing. I can only go by what I've heard. I have heard from someone that I trust very much so that the Saints, not just on draft night, for days leading up to draft, were trying to trade up ahead of Atlanta to the top 10 to draft. Either it would be Michael Penix or Brock Bowers, but more likely it's probably going to be Michael Penix. I don't know what the full Saints board looked like, but I can tell you that at least in the cloud of players, it was Michael Penix Jr., it was Brock Bowers, and then Fuaga. Now, who they had more in that, I don't know. But if Brock Bowers had fallen to 14, it was insane that he was still there at 13. But if he had fallen to 14, I think he would have been a Saint. I think
so. From everything I'm hearing, it sounds like that was the case.
He would have been a Saint. Jeff Ireland is the one who made the pick for Fuaga. And that had been something on my radar for a while, of Jeff Ireland's voice kind of getting lost in the draft room. He was the one who drafted Fuaga. I think maybe they did a retooling. I didn't realize that Randy Mueller was even added to the draft room. I think maybe they did a retooling in terms of how the draft room worked, and maybe they realized, like, hey, maybe Mickey Loomis, who, like, football guy, like, in quotes, maybe shouldn't be the one that had, like, this final say in these draft picks. and kind of reverted back to like, let's follow the board. Like, let's follow the board. And also, if they were going to trade up for Penix, what does that tell you what they think about Derek Carr?
Exactly. That's the thing.
That's huge.
Right. And that's why I'm sure if it is true, that's why they don't want. That's why they tamping down on that.
The ego, bro. That ego. They got to massage the Carr ego, bro. They got to massage. They already know he a little sensitive. He got a little sensitive. And again, I'll just say that I left the draft, and we haven't really talked about Fuaga and what he adds to the offensive line. I came out of the first round of this draft more positive than I think I've felt in a while about the Saints, because maybe, just maybe, they see the things that us as casual fans are seeing, and they want to go about fixing it, even if it didn't work out the way to.
So, and look, we've complained about possibly taking the OT in the first for months now. But, you know, I've been facing, man. Like I tweeted out the Saints depth chart on the offensive line 2 days ago, and it's just sad. After Hurst left, it's like, you know, you just do
McCoy, Ruiz.
That's it. That's your only bench. That's it.
That's it, bro.
You got nothing else, man. It was vital. And look, Fuaga, I watched a little bit of him last night, man. Good player. Played in the wide zone scheme with Oregon. So he just looks like that type of player. He's most likely a right tackle.
Yes.
And that's fine. They're going to need a right tackle. What this means for Penning, we'll see.
No idea, bro.
Draft ain't over. Maybe they take somebody today in the second round.
Please don't give me O-line in the second round, bro.
Please don't double dip. That's my thing. I'm fine with taking the OT.
Right.
But give me something in the second round. I got my socks, Adam. I'm good. I got my socks. So give me a PlayStation game. Give me something.
I just need some juice. Can I get a Keon Coleman? Can I get a Lad McConkey? Can I get a running back? Marshon? Can I get Jonathan Brooks? Can I get something?
How about a cornerback?
I would be fine.
Slap.
I'd be okay with it, but I need some offensive. I want some offensive juice. I would like some offensive juice. The player that we haven't really talked about it, but the article, the Saints prospecting matching article that was published leading up to the draft. I can't even say his name, but the slot cornerback at Michigan, like literally is exactly what the Saints want, prospect-wise, athletic traits-wise. Mike Sarsty or whatever like that. Mike, our dude Tony Pauline had been saying that he's been rising the draft boards in round 2. It'd probably be like a top 45 selection. Man, he just matches everything the Saints do so well and want. And they won a slot, because we know they did, because they went after Avonte Maddox. Couple of things. I'm going to drop a couple of nuggets here on the podcast again. The Saints have multiple offers on the table to move back in the draft. We know that they were listening to the offers, but that timer went down. It went down to like 2 minutes, 1 minute. I don't know how many offers they had, but I know they at least had one offer that they could have gained a third from moving back. Don't know how far back. They gained a third from moving back. And I think they had another offer, maybe multiple. Which leads me to believe. The question I would ask is, like, let's say if you had, and this is probably, they answered the question by taking Fuaga, but if they had Fuaga and Fatanu graded similarly, the smarter thing would have been to trade back, pick up a third, and maybe don't draft Fuaga. You probably miss out on Fuaga at that point, but you get Fatanu. Yeah. We're playing sliding doors, but I'm just saying that the team did consider it, and they did have offers on the table to move back. Shout out to, much love to Joshua with a big super chat. Man said he wants a tight end. Or shout out to Justin for the super chat. He said,
shout out to y'all.
Cooper DeJean, LOL, JK, maybe. I would love Cooper DeJean. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna say this, and I don't want it to sound like any type of like prejudice or whatever. I don't know if play corner in the NFL. I don't know if he can.
Yeah, when I first watched him, that's what I thought. I think he can give you snaps outside, but I don't think that's his strength.
Right.
In the NFL.
Right.
As an outside perimeter.
His hips a little too stiff.
No offense, you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. But he's a dog.
He's
a dog. So
yes.
I think, he's a type of player, like I could see him playing outside in some cover four.
Some
cover four scenarios. I could see him be a dog in the slot. I could see him be a dog at safety moving around.
He reminds me of this draft version, maybe not as good, but Harrison Smith.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I remember I remember our dude Scott Wright when he thought Harrison Smith got overdrafted, when he got drafted. Yeah. And Harrison Smith has been like, whatever you want from a draft pick and a safety, exceptional in his career. Anything from going back to the Saints?
Just the how it played out. We had Latu on the board. Yeah, Dallas Turner on the board. Dallas Turner.
On the board.
Aaron Murphy.
On the board.
On the board.
Which then my question because it makes it fascinating of knowing what the cloud was. Because that answers your question of the cloud, right?
Yeah.
That tells you Fuaga. But here, I don't know if it tells you that. Because that could have been, if they had all those players drafted the same, or maybe they had Latu, Dallas Turner, and higher than Fuaga. Yeah. If they maybe went, if Fuaga was graded similarly, and then they factor in need,
exactly.
Then it makes it an easier decision. I'm not saying it makes it the right decision, but it makes it an easier decision.
And that was I figured that would probably happen, but I didn't think Latu, I thought had a good chance of being there. But him and Turner being there.
Yeah, Turner I didn't see.
That shocked me. And Murphy, I thought Murphy would go early, end up going early.
He went to the team. So
where did he go again?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Latu goes to the Colts. I asked this at the draft party. And shout out to everyone who came out to the draft party last night. Our dude, Agitator Brian, flew in from California.
Shout out to Brian.
Our dude Dante and the lovely wife came in from Texas. All the other OGs, Max, Corey, Bunch, Elise, Ben, Eric, Tony. Got a new Patreon last night and yesterday, and Joe showed up. Mark, just so many people. You can't see him, but my uncle's out here to the right. He drove in and supported us, and he's here. It's his birthday tomorrow. But it's just all love. Like this is like it's community is special, and this is why we do this. We do it for y'all. We do it for y'all. We do it for the community. That is the Saints Block Party podcast.
Nothing like it, bro.
No,
just it just makes the whole experience completely different.
Yes,
we remember the days of sitting in your house watching the draft, playing it online, building on things. Yeah, I've rarely been on Twitter since the draft. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We had so much action in person.
We did, and we also had like a rule at the draft, like no spoiling the picks.
No spoiling
the picks. So it was all like organic. So when that Michael Penix pick happened, like
place abrupt.
Got some questions. Renee said, "What's good?" Drew Leeds. If it isn't an offensive weapon, let me get Johnny Newton. That's your guy, right?
That's my guy, right?
From defensive tackle from Illinois. Justin, do you see the Saints trading back today? I don't. I think I say this: if they weren't willing to trade back and pick up a third, this is a team that needs every draft pick they can get, I would be shocked.
About trading up in the second round. They pick at 45?
45, and the pick starts, and so the second round starts at pick 33. They might try to take 45, and I don't even know if those 3/5 even get you that far up, bro.
They don't give you much.
Nothing. But there's a lot of talent available in round 2. Let's go back to Fuaga. I feel like we haven't even talked about the player that they actually drafted enough. One thing I noticed, we have been harping of how bad the run game for the Saints have been. Harped on it. For years, it has just not been good. You put Fuaga at right tackle. He's a dominant player, a dominant run blocker. You would hopefully think it would help the renaissance of AK, Kendre Miller, if he can stay healthy. I don't know how much Fuaga even helped Jamal Williams at this point. But Demon Time slides. I wonder if they go wide receiver today. I don't know, man. Like, just give me some juice. I would love a wide receiver. I would love Sanders, the tight end from Texas, who's very reminds me of Evan Ingram, but like the Jags version of Evan Ingram, or the Evan Ingram that was played in his rookie season for the Giants, and then that Evan Ingram disappeared for the season. Yeah. That's who Sanders kind of reminds me of as a player. Just like he's just like a big slot. Really, he's not tight end only in name. Yeah. There's so many players, man, that they can add to the team. But I think Fuaga helps the run game, and honestly, the excuses for Derek Carr are kind of shrinking.
They are, bro. They are. Look, they are trying to help him out right now. They're trying to help Derek Carr out. They brought in Clint Kubiak. It's supposed to make a more QB-friendly, offensive scheme. We gonna see, bro. I don't want to see nothing about no, Fuaga's allowing sacks, this and that. No, man. You as a quarterback, you want to work with this boy to get him up the park. You know what I'm saying? You and the coaching staff, everybody else. It's gonna be fascinating, man.
It is.
But I like him as a player. He's not raw.
No.
He should literally come in and compete for the starting job ASAP. You know what I'm saying? He should win the starting job. He should, I think it'll take time as far as pass protection.
Yeah.
That just takes time, but just the scheme that they plan on implementing will help pass protection and the run game. It's just so crucial. If they can get this run game picked up, if they can get Penning at least serviceable on the other side.
Penning, and I'm gonna throw this name out there, Nick Sasaverde.
Salad sauce. Salad. Toast the salad.
Oh. You don't even gotta use no syrup or no jelly anymore. You just go in. Sorry. Caesar salad. Sorry, we're talking about
here's the thing. Everybody talk about Salverde, how athletic he is, how smart he is, how well he moves.
He played right tackle primarily at Old Dominion, bro.
It's show me, man. Come on, bro.
I don't. If I'm them, I am not moving Fuaga. I'm not trying to put him at left. I'm not trying to do it. You would think, and he is nowhere like him as a prospect. But you're hoping you get a similar type of production or player that the Lions got when they drafted Penei Sewell. Yeah, right. You took him 4th overall, 6th. Yeah, 4th because then Jamar Chase went 5th. I asked this at the meetup last night, and I meant it with all sincerity, but also meant it with no stereotype at all. Has there ever been a bad, ungood Polynesian offensive lineman drafted in the NFL? We were thinking last night, we were has there been?
I don't think so. They breed them boys. Crazy.
Mikey Potty, even Senor Calimente, bro. Undrafted free agent. Penei Sewell, that's it's just I expect at the very least Fuaga to be good. If he could be great or elite, even better. But if you could just be good, a good starting right tackle, that goes a long way. Yeah. But so much can be changed for this offensive line if we can get. Someone said it, I think either in the Discord or in person, or I don't remember. They were man, can Penning just become Andres Pete, old Andres Pete, bro? We don't even need last year.
The one we used to laugh at, you know what I'm saying?
Can he just be that, bro? And the thing is, maybe he can. Maybe he is already that. We don't know because he doesn't play. Exactly. Same thing with Salaverde. He doesn't play. Joshua said, "What are the odds we bring back Pete?" It doesn't sound like he's going to be with the Saints at all. Like if you listen to who was it? DA answered the question about like if they asked him about Pete, or I think it was Mickey, or it was Mickey. He said he's a free agent. And it was very just stern, and just that's what it is. The only bad news I heard from last night, and this is a positive podcast. Like I said, I'm at least a little more positive about maybe the direction the team's going, and I have been for a while. They were still hoping to get calls on Marshon last night. Yeah. Why?
Make it make sense to me.
Why? Like I get that he doesn't want to be there and play for Gate. I get that. But you telling me that there's no listen, the Eagles drafted Mitchell, I believe. Yeah. And the Lions drafted Terry and R. Yeah. So those are the teams that wanted a corner the most. That's already been cut. So like it's even hard. You never know, but it's even hard to like find a team that would even. Every team needs good corners, but like would trade a valuable draft pick to trade for Lattimore. So hearing that they were wanting calls on him, just make it work. It makes your team like there is no conceivable way that trading Marshon Lattimore makes the team better.
I think ultimately they want more assets, and he is probably their most valuable asset.
He absolutely is.
That also doesn't want to play for the head coach.
Right.
It's like, it just makes it. And he hasn't been there at they're doing workouts right now. He hasn't been there, not breaking news or nothing like that, but he hasn't been there. Taysom Hill hasn't been there either,
He announcing the 45 pick.
Huh?
He announcing the pick 45.
Oh, Taysom?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Wouldn't be some shit if like he got traded like right before round 2 started. No, y'all think you'd have to change it at that point, bro. That'd be awkward as shit, bro. Anything else from round 1?
I'm trying to think who did Tampa Bay take?
It wasn't Chomp, because Chomp went higher. It was an offensive lineman. Oh, it wasn't. It was Graham Barton.
Yeah, Graham Barton. Yeah.
From Duke.
Yeah, nice little pick. I like him. And then Panthers traded up into the first round to my guy Xavier Legette.
Can we talk about Bills real quick?
Oh, bro, you was highly annoyed last night about that one. It makes sense what you were saying, man.
Okay, let's even first start. And Brandon Bean said, okay, let's first start. They allowed the Kansas City Chiefs to trade up and draft Xavier Worthy. How many times has that team with that mutant at quarterback crushed your dreams?
Every year, bro.
And if it wasn't him, it was the Bengals, right?
Like, why are you helping them? Why?
So not only do you let them trade up, they draft Isaiah Worthy, 4.21 speed, and now you as a Bills franchise, Tre'Davious White's gone. You got rid of your safety. Like, I need it to make sense to me. So that happens, and say what, David Tepper's an idiot, but I don't even know who pulled the maneuver off to go from 33, you go to 32, you draft as a Panthers, you draft Xavier Legette, so you're able to get him for 5 years if he's good before you have to extend him. The Bills, whatever player that they were going to draft at 32, they're going to draft at 33. So if that player is good, now that player's on a 4-year contract, of a cost-controlled contract where you're going to have to pay that player sooner. Yeah. If instead of them not having a 5th-year option where you could have had them at a cost-controlled for 1 more year and put it off. Bro, the Saints, we've been on the Saints for some moves and things that we know that they've done or tried to do whatever. That was idiotic on so many levels. I don't understand it, right?
And maybe they don't value the 5th round option. I mean, the 5th-year option. Like, I've heard Mike Lombardi say some teams don't value it because of the cost of it for some positions. For some positions, it's expensive for the 50 option. It still don't make sense to me because
It's gonna be more.
it's like it's just an option for you to control the player in case you can't get a long-term deal at the moment.
It buys you more time.
It's just like the franchise thing.
It literally,
But better. You know what I'm saying?
like it didn't. Oh my god, it was idiotic to me. It was so idiotic to me. I don't think there's any other picks that kind of just stood out to me.
I mean, Caleb Williams, man, they Bears got talk about a franchise turnaround. We'll see how it works out. You never know. But to set him up as a rookie, already the consensus best quarterback in this class, dude that can make all the throws, smart, got it from the neck up, got the arm, got the moves, can second reaction plays. Then you give him Roma Dunze, Keenan Allen, and DJ Moore, and Cole Kmet. And then they go get who's the running back they got in free agency? Swift. No, what's it, Swift?
It wasn't no, because Aaron Jones went to the Vikings.
When Aaron Jones.
I don't know who they got that running back.
But they got a good running back. Like they setting their young boy up for success, man. Like
Jay made a great analogy with the Bears. He said the Bears are like the parents that like were like physically and emotionally abusive to like the older kids, and then they realize that that's not like a good parenting style, and then they had a younger kid, and like, oh, we need to raise them this way,
right?
But the older kids still got the trauma,
right?
So the older kids
looking like that's something.
Older kids,
I know
Justin Fields,
I know Justin Fields,
Mitch Trubisky, like
wow, okay.
All right, cool, bet. She said that analogy, bro. I was like, damn, that's good as hell. Justin Fields in Pittsburgh, like, could have been me, right? The Rome thing, the Cardinals did. It's funny because I'll say this: like, there's some things I get told sometimes, and I try to like when draft season comes around, you hear so many things. But I'll tell you that during the season, like right in the middle of the season, right? Maybe towards like maybe 3/4 of the season, had heard that the Cardinals absolutely love Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, and I heard that the best quarterback or favorite quarterback the Patriots like was Drake May. It was all the smoke, all what we became down, whatever, turned out to be exactly like I heard during the season.
Yeah. There's something like that where, I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. not to the Cardinals
early. And then, like, he didn't work out, and then the people started dropping him.
Nah, man. Tape speak for itself. It was a good pick.
Yes.
DJ McCarthy did.
He did. He did.
I didn't think he, but he did.
I'd be so fascinated there is no way that he was going to pass the Vikings or Denver.
Right.
But just in another, like, at 14, I would have been fascinated to know what they would have done. And fascinated.
Payton takes Bo Nix.
Can I add a caveat on that? The owner of Walmart pretty much told all Denver's brass they had a mandate to get a quarterback around. So I say that because I see all this stuff on like Twitter and just like, people ripping Sean after Bo Nix in the first, and I get people. We were talking about the Bo Nix hate. You texted me, you was like, man, can you explain the Bo Nix hate to me, please? Because when you watch his Oregon tape, you're like, yeah, all right. But what sounds like is that mandate for them to have a quarterback in the first round came early, and Sean, who had as much power as any coach could have when he was in New Orleans, that same level of power or control he had in Denver is not there. So I think he was given that mandate, and so he's like, all right, let me dig into these quarterbacks. Yeah. And if I can't trade up to get one, then I gotta be well versed in who may be there at the pick. Because I think if it was Sean's choice and Denver's choice in terms of like their scouting, they would win Brock Bowers. Yeah. That is bad team building, man.
You never want the owner.
Never. Never. So it says apparently the Saints are refuting the report that they were interested in Phoenix. Yeah, of course they are. Why wouldn't they?
Right.
Like again, it all goes back to the whole thing with Derek Carr. The Saints also refuted when they first came out. They refuted that report of wanting to take Patrick Mahomes to the draft, if we remember correctly. Did they not refute that? We know it to be true. They would. I have no reason to lie on this podcast. They were trying to trade into the top 10 to draft Michael Penix Jr. days leading up to the draft. I didn't know this until yesterday. So, refute as they may, as always, the truth eventually always comes out, right? So, and this is not a shot towards John. Like John's hearing it from his source.
Yeah.
People have different sources. They're different. I'll say what I know or what I've heard, and I'll keep it at that. Anything else?
Nah, man, I'm just ready for the second day to see how it goes.
Round two.
Give me Keon Coleman, man. I feel good about that.
Okay. Now, just go to second. Let's sit. I'm going super positive fanatic. Let's say something awakes in Penning, or maybe it was already there. But like, let's say with this new coaching staff, they're able to get the best out of Trevor Penning. He's your left tackle. Let's say left guard, and they more likely probably sign Mekhi Becton. That's NOF has been just like sending those warning shots, and I don't know if he becomes death, or maybe let's say they sign Mekhi Becton. Maybe he has rejuvenation. He stays healthy. He's good. Maybe put him at left tackle. Maybe they decide, hey, Trevor Penning, maybe you're not a good tackle. Put you at guard. You have McCoy. You have Reese. You have Fuaga. That's your offensive line. Quarterback still Derek Carr. You have AK, Kendra Miller, and then your wide receivers are Olave, Rashid Shaheed, let's say Keon Coleman or Lad McConkey. Although I think in terms of a stylistic approach of what you would want on your wide receivers, you would want like a bigger body. Because I think I like Lad, but I think he may be a little counterproductive in terms of like stylistic of how he wins. Yeah, I think. But so you throw Keon Coleman, A.T. Perry, and then your tight end room is your tight end room.
It's not a bad offense, man.
It's all
a lot of hips.
On paper.
On paper, baby.
Hashtag on paper.
Like, it's a lot on paper, but I think Clint Kubiak has a lot to work with.
He does.
He has a lot to work with. And look, even with Derek Carr, bro, like just play.
Run the offense.
Run the offense.
That's literally what it is, bro.
Run the offense. If it's a high-low read, execute the high-low read. If it's a handoff, hand it off. If it's a three-step, get the ball out of your hand. Like, it just run the offense. And if he finished, like, if you people look at his statistics from last year, be like, hey man, look, he had a good season. We watched the games.
Every single one of them.
We watched the games. But if like those same statistics happen again this year, but with real like tape, like with actually good tape, but he had the same stats, I'll be completely fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Like we had, 27 touchdowns, 8 INTs, but the tape was actually good.
Right.
And he executed the offense efficiently and he won games. I'll be completely fine with that. And it's something he could possibly do. We'll see. We're going to see.
Round 2 starts at 6 p.m. Central Time. So we're not doing any type of like live stream for round 2, just as a heads up. But we will be having a get together. If you're a Patreon or if you're a YouTube member or what have you, you can find out where the details of that is. But so we are meeting up together around 5:30. Round 2 to watch round 2 together, round 2 and 3. But Saints only have a pick in round 2. I'd be interested to see if there's a player there like in round 3, if they package all those fifths and maybe offer a next year's second to move up to round 3.
That'd be interesting.
But again, thank y'all for the support. We appreciate you. We love y'all. Like I said, it's crazy that we've been doing this for 4 years. Like now 4 years in a couple of weeks, and just to see like our growth, just from like a production standpoint, to see where we are now and just see where the community is now is unreal. It's unreal.
We appreciate y'all for all the support. Thank y'all for logging in and dropping questions during the live stream, keeping us going, man. Like, really appreciate it. We're just gonna keep trying to grow this thing and make it pop even more.
That's it. I want to give a shout out to our dude Wallace, who's in our community. Really helped came through. Needed a new laptop machine, and he said, "I got you. You are like family. I work at Apple. I got you." And helped out tremendously because apples aren't cheap. Apples are not cheap. Also, I want to give a shout out to my uncle sitting off camera for just everything that he's done to support us, support me, support the podcast. I love you. Happy birthday. And we appreciate all our extended family that we've gained since starting this podcast 4 years ago. I remember when we first started, we didn't look at the numbers, but like the numbers are what they were, and to see what the numbers are now, even during the off season, is amazing.
In the same state too.
One last thing. So when I don't think it was John, like in our Discord, bro, that Derek Carr and Steve Gleason picked, and someone said Steve Gleason wish he could have got up and walked away, bro.
That was great. Boy, that shit had me crazy.
Oh, just some savages, bro. Just some savages in our TV.
Get out there, baby.
Yeah, please. Man, I've been through enough. Man said I done survived ALS, and now Derek Carr all in my grill, bro. Wait, be gone. But thank y'all for the support. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We'll do a round 2 draft recap sometime. Like it's coming. You just know that we're traveling. Even if you say it's our dude's wedding anniversary, it's Wolf's wedding anniversary tomorrow. So, we besides the podcast, we actually do have things outside the podcast that we tend to. But know that we'll do the day 2 podcast recap, and then we'll just kind of do like a complete Saints draft recap as always. So, thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. With that, we're out.
Peace.